Hey guys, Melinda here, licensed professional counselor. As promised, we are going to go over noticing our emotions today, understanding them, deciding what are we feeling and how do we handle that. Okay, so let's get right into it. So when we're going to call it centered. So centered is when we feel our best. Nothing is going on that we're like super excited about or we're super low about. So we're centered. And we're going to use this Sharpie to describe centered. So here we are centered. Now, anytime we start to leave centered, our emotions kind of start to sway like this. So this is things when we're feeling, we'll just like clump it all together as like the icky feelings we have. So worried, sad, anxious, jealous, scared. I mean, we could go on and on and on. Any of those feelings is what we're talking about. So we start to leave center, and we leave centered like this. And if we don't pay any attention to it, that will continue to build and build and build. And here we are like totally freaking out. Here we are having a panic attack. I can't handle this. So what we want to do is start to notice and be super self-aware. I'm leaving centered. Okay, so the first thing is knowing when you're centered. What does this feel like? What does this look like? What does my body feel like? And then from there, noticing I'm leaving centered. So our body is great. It gives us all of these warning signs, like when I leave centered, like I notice my forehead kind of tenses up, and which I burnt myself a curling iron yesterday. But so my forehead starts tensing up, my shoulders get kind of tense, my stomach might have like a weird feeling in it, and most of us just completely ignore that. And we just keep thinking about whatever thought it is that is not really helpful. So the first thing is we've got to start noticing when our body gives us these warning, you're leaving centered, because then you're here. It's a lot easier to get calmed down when we're here rather than when we're like, woo, woo. So notice it when you're here. Start noticing this is when I'm centered, this is how I feel. Then you'll start noticing I'm leaving centered. Here are my early warning signs, whatever they may be. So I'm leaving centered and I'm noticing. The best thing to do when you get good at this and start to notice, okay, I know when I'm centered, I know when I'm leaving centered, and I know I'm here. Awesome, you're on the right track. So we want to then start thinking about, do not make any decisions, choices, respond to that text message from your boyfriend or girlfriend, talk back to mom or dad when you're not centered. So when you're noticing I'm leaving centered, you need to try to do nothing if at all possible. Now I know sometimes that's not possible, but if it is, a lot of times, like, okay, do I have to text back my boyfriend or girlfriend right now? Probably not. All you need to be focusing on is getting yourself centered. So leave whatever the situation is, whatever him or her said to you, and just focus on getting centered. We make completely different choices when we are centered as opposed to here. So if I was going to respond to a text message to my husband when I'm up here, I would not be saying the same words as if I got myself calm and then responded. So I'm not centered. Leave the situation. Push it out of your head. Get it out of there. Get yourself centered. Then relook at whatever the issue is. Okay. So a lot of times when you're centered, it's not even important anymore. You're like, I'm not even gonna like deal with that because it's not something that I'm even upset about anymore now that I'm centered. Sometimes it will still be important. So get yourself centered and then relook at the situation and decide how you want to handle it. If you go back to it and you're like, okay, I do need to handle this, and you start to think about it and you start to leave centered again, stop. If at all possible, get yourself centered, push whatever it is out again until you're centered, and then re-look at it. This will save you so many headaches with teachers, friends, parents, boyfriends and girlfriends, because we do not make the same decisions when we are centered as when we're like up here or woo, up around here. So self-awareness, knowing when I am centered, listening and knowing what our warning signs are. So warning, what is it? You're leaving centered. Notice it, and do something about it. Push that thought away until you can get centered, and then re-look at the situation and decide what you want to do about it. Okay, so that is the lesson. That's what I want you to start practicing. We will go into, okay, so great, I know I'm not centered. I know I need to get centered. What the heck do I do to get centered? So the next video will be some strategies and some ideas on things to help you practice getting back to centered. If you like this video, please share it. We need to get this information out to as many people as we can. I can only see one client an hour. I can only get this information out to one person an hour. We need to get it out to as many people as possible, help as many people as we can. Subscribe to my channel and I will see you next time.